We are live at the mall Bangkok on the ground floor, first floor Starbucks. It's a beautiful day, aside from the smog. Hopefully everybody can hear me. As of 9:21, the temperature was 82 degrees, low of 75, high of 96, feels like 86, 54% humidity, winds southeast at 5 miles an hour, visibility 5 miles, UV index 3, 0% chance of rain. The air quality index, unhealthy, 156. Not good. And I can tell my nose is the barometer. And the Thai baht, wow, 31.2720. The value of the baht continues to decline ever so slightly, ever so slowly, which is good for Americans, those who are receiving their funds in US dollars. So we can't complain. Let's see here. Today we're going to talk about one of men's favorite subjects, aside from perhaps money or sports, and that is women, Thai women. Don't ask me why I decided to talk about this, but I think it's long overdue. Actually, I was gonna, the other day when I did the, what was it that I did? Oh, the one chip challenge. When I did the one chip challenge, I was gonna talk about women then, but it really wasn't possible. And so I just decided, yeah, you know what? It deserves its own stream, its own talk. And I actually wrote about this. And I don't remember anything that I wrote, at least I don't remember right now because I haven't looked at my book in quite some time, but I'm going to look at it right now. I've got it here. They call me Farang. Short stories by an American in Bangkok. That's me. It's still up for sale. You can get it. Just look in the description. And there's a link or links down below for that. There's also links to the t-shirts. I got a couple of new ones up. They should be showing under the YouTube video window or beside it. So that's good. Just check the description. But thank you to my Patreon patrons. Thank you to the members of my website. And thank you to the viewers. And all those who click thumbs up, thumbs down. All those who view my streams and videos. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to read this. It's only a couple of pages. Oh, it's a little more than I thought. Well, let's see here. Yeah, it's a little longer than I thought, so maybe I won't make it through the whole thing, but we'll see. I don't even remember now. I mean, I think you can get a Kindle version for like $5. And the book, the printed book, is maybe 10, 12 bucks. I'm not sure. It depends on what Amazon is pricing them at, because sometimes they discount them without me knowing, and I haven't looked in a while. But let me read this. The kid, I remember this now immediately because this has to do with Starbucks. The kid ordering coffee was speaking loudly, waving his arms up and down as he attempted to make his point to the girl standing beside him. For a moment, I thought of shutting him up with a hard smack to the back of his head, but the prospect of sitting in jail dissuaded me from doing so. He and his fat, zit-faced girlfriend were disturbing everyone in the coffee shop, enthralled in some silly conversation about who had cuter photos in their cell phones. Maybe they are deaf, I thought, as I turned to throw the pair my dirtiest look. No effect. They kept blabbing away, loudly. Then I took a step in the direction and said, "Shut the fuck up already." They weren't fazed. They didn't hear me. Lost in conversation, completely oblivious to anyone outside their bubble. They continued screaming at one another. "I like the one where I'm standing with Piggy," the girl said, trying to make a cute face. "I am so lovely." "Yes, you are lovely, but my photo with Nong Jiep's cat is much better. That photo should be in a magazine." "No." What is it? Oh, okay. "No, no way." "Thank you, Mr. Mitch. That cat is ugly. How can you say such a thing?" "He is so ugly, he's lovely," said the kid. "More lovely than you." "Are you calling me ugly?" she asked. The girl stood legs spread, shoulder width, rolls of flesh spilling out of her jeans. The pants looked painted on, so tight I was amazed she could fit her massive frame inside of them. Giving her a hard kick to the twat crossed my mind, but her thighs touched all the way from her snatch to her knees, and my foot would never have fit. She had no gap. She had no gap and probably spent a fortune on baby powder to keep her legs from chafing, or she used Manscaped. By the way, there's the segue. Manscaped, Malin20 is the code. Get 20% off, manscaped.com. Get the underwear. Maybe she has had them on, I don't know. Maybe a piece of chocolate cake would shut her up. The kid clearly enjoyed talking, but she easily had him beat, both in volume and decibels. The fat bitch didn't even stop to take a breath. You can play it if you want. How does this kid deal with her persistent yammering? Man's zest for life dwindles for a number of reasons, one of which is because women who are constantly talking take the joy out of it. Women who only talk to hear themselves speak tend to be the women people least want to hear. Before I had the chance to buy Fatty a piece of cake, though, the pair walked away, still arguing about which one of them had better photographs. The barista behind the counter gave me a tired look and fought to muster a smile. "I'm tired," she said. I knew exactly what she meant, but being a polite and proper Thai lady, she would dare not say anything about a comment. But she would not dare say anything negative about a customer. Give me a cute, quiet, and unassuming chick over a smoking hot broad who likes to flap her gums any day. Women who never shut up tend to talk about frivolous subjects or ask far too many questions. "Why do you do this? Did you ever? When are you going to? Can I? Will you? Can you? Why? How come? What is that supposed to mean?" Oh, shut the fuck up already. Can't a man get a little peace and quiet without having to tape his woman's mouth shut? Yeah, I wrote this next sentence. Silence fat chicks with food and hot ones with a stiff dick. There's enough noise pollution in the world without having to come home to a woman who won't shut up. Whiners and yappers, they get screwed once and shown the door. The quiet ones get to stick around for a while. Women, no subject conjures up such a wide variety of thoughts and emotions for men as the female species. They shower men with affection, bear their children, provide companionship and stability, help build their homes, love them for unknown reasons, and are a source of great joy and great frustration. Women are a blessing and a curse. They break men's hearts, break their balls, make them laugh, make them cry, and even prompt some to write poetry and sappy love songs. As sweet, caring, as understanding as they can be, though, women have the potential to be every bit as ruthless and mercenary, wow, it's loud, huh? As men. I guess there's no noise suppressors on some of the motorcycles. Despite the risk and the hassles, men's urge to be with them is innate and unstoppable. Making any relationship work is a mixture of luck, timing, tolerance, chemistry, proximity, and the ability to understand one another's morals and values, however dissimilar. Add in the exotic flavor of Thailand's culture, the nature and personality of Thai women, the inability to communicate, and a foreigner in a long-term relationship with Thai with a Thai woman is a long shot. Once I settled into my, oh man, I can't believe I'm reading this stuff. Once I settled into my new life in Bangkok, I began compiling a roster of women. Of course, this is all fiction. To date and sleep with. Anywhere I went, my eyes were open to the possibilities. Light skin, dark skin, waitresses, 7-Eleven clerks, office workers, traditional masseuses, happy ending masseuses, beer bar girls, and every so often a bank teller or pretty girl. I did not discriminate. In the beginning, having the ability to communicate with Thai women who were unable to speak English was my sole impetus for learning the Thai language. Finding women to have sex with was a game of numbers, and my Thai improved. As my Thai improved, so did my numbers. The language was a way in more ways. The language always was a way in more ways than one. The extent of my game, if you can call it such, went something like this. I'm sorry, I don't speak Thai. Do you speak English? No, I am sorry, I no speak English. I teach you English, you teach me Thai, okay? They would stare into my eyes, scouring my inner being for serious defects, like an old woman contemplating the purchase of a used car, trying to determine if I was trustworthy or a lemming. I always promised to be a gentleman and keep the door open while we studied, and most of the time this was all the reassurance they needed. Must have been my baby face that set them at ease. All right, I'm going to stop right there. I might have to skip through some of this, but we're on the subject of women, and I'm curious to know about. We got 34 people here. We got about 4 people who made comments. So I'm curious to know, of the people watching, how many of you are married to Thai women, have Thai girlfriends, or have had Thai girlfriends, had a little more of a relationship than just, say, a little roll in the hay? So cheesy the way you write that time. So cheesy? Married, oh well, Bruce, I know, married, no children. Well, I think the no children part, that again is blessing. It can be a blessing or a curse depending on how your kids are. For me, I feel like I was blessed. He's a cheesy player. There is guilty. You are still blessed. Yes, I'm blessed. I'm also blessed because Alex came home last night and told me he has a job. I was like, what? Really? You have a job? Yes, he has a job. Working 2 days a week. So I didn't have to push him very hard. I just mentioned it to him, and now he's got a job. I don't know if Gennaro is here. Gennaro, if you're here, you got the manager. His name is Ken. His nickname is Ken. And then you got Mild. You got Mild working today. And that's it. She's a little bit on the shy side. She still is, bugging me to teach her how to speak English and everything. And I can't do that nowadays. It's not like I have, first of all, I'm not single. It's not like I have time to sit and, teach somebody all for a piece of ass or, for free or whatever. Those days are long behind me. So, but I'm curious to know of, what is I haven't, now it's been 25 years since I've lived, in the United States. And while I remember some things about the women of the United States, my memory is starting to slowly fade. Memories of these women that I was with back then have slowly faded. I do remember some things, you know, about their tempers and their temperament and, you know, certain things that occurred with them and how they acted. But I'm just curious to know, you know, what made you take the plunge? And, you know, I'm of the opinion that a lot of it has to do with proximity. Proximity. If you're living in Costa Rica, you're probably going to be, for any length of time. I'm not talking about going there for a vacation. You're living there for a year, 2 years, 5 years, and you're single. My guess is eventually you're going to at least have a girlfriend or a special friend or whatever kind of label you want to put on it. Girlfriend, special friend, wife, whatever. Friends with benefits. You're going to have some sort of relationship if you are semi-normal. Women in the West, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Women in the West have lost the plot. Now, I know there's, you know, in California and some other places, there's the whole, you know, half. They get half. But that's not the only reason why men in the United States, I mean, you know, the whole MGTOW thing, and I'm not really somebody into the whole, I don't, again, no labels. By the time I got here and had a little experience here, I was well into going my own way. None of this, yeah, exactly. None of this, you know, oh, well, I'm going to do whatever they want, and, you know, it's all about them, and, you know, you've got to be the white knight, and there was none of that. I learned my lesson from Western women, I mean, and I learned slow. And I think my kids are on the right track, although we'll find out, but just because they don't make women very important in their life. What do you need to make them important for if you're, say, 18 or 20 or even 25? Why do they need to be the focus of your life? They, you know, why would they be your everything? I don't care if they're Thai or Western. You know, why would you make them your everything? How about you worry about yourself? And I'll tell you what, I wasted some years. I wasted a good 10 years thinking about women all the time. I mean, you know, I used to drive up and down PCH on my motorcycle. I had a shaft-driven Yamaha 650, and I used to drive. At the time, I was able to take my shirt off and, you know, be proud of my body, and I was tan, and I had hair, and I'd go drive up and down PCH and just, you know, go have lunch somewhere, and, you know, I met some girl down at the beach, and then I got some little, you know, I get the number or whatever, and then, you know, when it's done, you know. That's all I know how to say. When it's done, it's done. But I have been giving it more, a little more weight lately because I think it's important. Should have been doing this a long time ago. The media, the establishment, the education is anti-male, especially if you're white. I don't know if it's so much that they're anti-male, although I do believe if you look at some sitcom on TV, it's always the husband is the idiot and the wife is the smart one who pulls him from his bootstraps and says, "Come on, honey, we can fix this. We're going to do it." And, you know, that's not how it is all the time. And I can tell you that, while my wife has contributed and helped in many ways at times, it's not like I've never helped her or ever contributed or anything like that. It's a two-way street, at least with us. Now, with some people, hey, maybe the guy is a dummy. I don't know. I've never thought of myself as a dummy. I've done some dumb things, but that doesn't mean I'm a dummy. And I see in these sitcoms where it's like, I mean, look at what is it? Was it Everybody Loves Raymond? I never watched that show that much. I didn't watch the one with Kevin James very much. Married and Children, yeah, I mean, you know, Al Bundy was, the stereotypical idiot shoe salesman who, his wife was a bit ditzy, but she was always the smart one. Now, I guess in All in the Family, things were a little more realistic. Archie Bunker was a bit pig-headed, but he was a chauvinist. And, he believed that women had their role and men had theirs as well. And I still think that women have their own roles and men have their own roles. They have their roles in society. And for the most part, I think it's important that they stick to them. I don't necessarily mean women can't do anything that they can't take the garbage out or they can't fix a car. But I mean, for the most part, like, here in Asia, I think that's kind of how it is. It's like, you got to fix something, it's usually the man who does it. Now, every once in a while, my wife will get in and, she'll jump in and do something because it's easier for her, whether because she's smaller and more nimble or because, I'm busy or whatever it is. But she's perfectly capable of doing some things, and so am I. I mean, I can cook, and she can fix things, so... But I think they have to be willing, and I don't know, how it works in the West anymore. Males in Thailand are the boss. Women in the West have the control. Yeah, well, see, I remember when I was in Singapore, and there was a girl who was working for us, and she was telling me about how in Singapore that the women were the boss, and that they told the men what to do with the money, and they were the ones who controlled everything in the family, and they were the boss. And I flat out said to the girl, do I look like the type of guy who's gonna just say, okay, you take over, you're the boss, honey? I mean, I don't care who the boss is, it's about who is better fitted for whatever task at hand. There are times that I don't want to go to the market and get something because I don't feel like dealing with, haggling on a price and then ending up paying an extra 50 baht or something. I just tell my wife, hey, go there, it'll be easier for you. Things like that. But it's about tasks and who is better suited at the moment. Who's available and who's better suited. And I don't know that I only hear what's being told by men in the West now. I haven't been there in a couple of years now. It's been, 2-3 years since I've been there, 3 years. And I haven't been in a relationship there in 26 years, something like that, 25 years. About 26, really. So, I mean, I was a much different person then, much younger man, and times were different. 25 years ago in the United States, times were different. I mean, the internet was in its infancy, really. It still had not exploded. And it's just, the noise pollution in this area is just horrible. I read something about somebody today, they bought a farm or something out in Oregon, and they were 50 miles away from the nearest grocery store, and I thought, man, that's perfect. But yeah, so I mean, I'm like I've said lately, and I've really started to feel it a lot more in the last couple of years, but I'm out of touch with the way things are back in the West. And I'm not sure that I want to get reacquainted with the way that things are. And I don't have any need as far as women go, but thank God the grass is greener in Thailand with women. I believe that. I mean, my wife is a bit stubborn. She can be a bit pig-headed at times. What's the word? Unrealistic? Maybe unrealistic is a word that would describe her occasionally, but for the most part, I would say that, she's things are quite good. Yes, I'm at the mall Bangkok. I think we have. I think we will have problems. Well, I'm not. I don't know why you're saying will, because I haven't decided to go back to the United States ever. And if I do, I have a feeling it's going to be. It's only going to be a part-time gig. You know, go there for 3 months, 6 months, come back, and that's in the future. Right now, yeah, I don't want to return. I don't have any real reason to return. I have nothing to go back to. You know, I got my parents there, I have my family there, but and that's okay. But I can go visit. But I don't really have any reason to go back. And if I was to go back, I don't know that I would live in the U.S. And I have kicked around in my head Costa Rica. I just don't know because it's close to the United States. But you know, it's a matter of it's a matter of timing and a lot of other things. You know, the thing is that when you got kids, things change. So I'll just put it that way. You know, I have more to think about than just myself, and it's a little more complicated than, hey, let's go live in Costa Rica part-time. You know, let's go do that. It's not quite that simple. I can't see. What does I mean? I'm heading back in July, August to visit my folks in Bangkok. Thailand is home for now. Well, that's good. That's good. I do know that Soy Dog Cowboy made it back to the U.S. He said there were no issues getting through. This guy's driving me nuts, man. He just keeps walking back and forth, and every time he walks by, he's like looking at me. He's an old guy. He had no problems getting through, though. They just let him right in. He said he got checked when he was exiting Thailand. He got checked. And, well, that's always the issue. Earning enough money to, yeah, it's really good. He got back. Very few problems. I really have my doubts about this virus. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about that kind of virus right now. But, you know, I dare say that, and I've said this before, but, you know, Thailand, there's a lot more to it than just the women. If you come here for the women, that's one thing. To stay here for the women is another thing. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like if I was here only for, you know, knit and nook and porn and pawn and, you know, I can barely, you know, they have a saying in Thailand, you know, one wife, one set of problems, or one girlfriend, one set of problems, 3 wives or 3 girlfriends, and you got 3 sets of problems. And I believe that, you know, you get to an age where the payoff is not quite as, you know, it's not quite worth it. Yeah, I've been to a few parks, Bruce, and there is one in particular that I'm working on, but I'm going to need to get my Thai press card before I can go to it and get in. It's a little difficult to get in there, but I believe I will. It's just going to take some time. Oh, that's nice. Got a little. So, you know, it's not like that. It's not like that women want different things. I think they all want the same thing. I know my wife, and you know, we've been saving for a long time, and she wants to buy a house. To her, that's, if she has a house, that's, all right, Bruce, you take it easy. You know, that's like, okay, well, now we can relax a little bit because we know we always have a house. I don't get that, but I do in a way, and for women it's about security. But, you know, like I said, do you really want to owe the bank? Just keep stashing that money and eventually pay for it. And if that's what she really wants, I don't really care. It really doesn't matter to me, you know. I could live in a shoebox, you know, so. But for her and the kids, you know, it's about security and comfort. And sometimes for me, I think to myself, if I'm too comfortable, I'm what's the word that I'm thinking of? If you get too comfortable, complacent. I get complacent. I don't want to be too comfortable, you know. But that's where I think, you know, Thai, I think that Thai women, if they're smart, they have a way of motivating their man. Any woman, really. It's not just about Thai women. And, you know, every once in a while, my wife will, you know, say something to me that I don't particularly like. And every once in a while, she'll say something and it'll just make me, it'll set in and I'll think about it and I'll go, yeah, she's right. Maybe I need to do that. So I think that, you know, having the right person, being with the right person is important, you know. Hey, man, you could always get one here. You could always build a tiny home. You could always build a container home. There's all kinds of things you can do here. They, you know, they have all kinds of different options here. Get yourself a yurt. I don't know what the village chiefs would, or chief would say, depending on the village. I don't know what they would say about something like that. I don't know if there's some kind of conformity that you need to have, or, you know, is it all about the payoff? You know, which I'm surprised because nobody has really said, hey, as long as you have money, your Thai woman is happy. Because I don't believe that. Because I've had money and not had money. And either way, they're not happy and they're happy. You know, it doesn't, the money is secondary. Let's see. Oh, they've already closed it off now. Pretty much. Money helps a little most of the time. Well, it makes things easier most of the time. I mean, you know, I'll say this. You know, I've complained at times about not having any money. I'm flat broke. I don't have any money in my pocket. You know, I can't go somewhere. I can't do this or that. You know, I can't go to Africa because I don't have enough money. Okay. You know what? It's not like I don't have food in the cupboard and we're worried about having a place to live. So all of that is relative to me. It's about, you know, are you cash poor? Are you really poor? Are you poor like where you don't know where you're going to sleep and you don't know where your next meal is coming from? Because to me, that's the difference. Well, you know, once you buy a condo, used or new, it's going to be used. And then the Thais don't particularly like to buy used condos. They do, but they'd rather buy a new one, you know. And I don't know that it's worth it. I mean, you can easily get a place for 5,000 or 10,000 baht. You just want a little place, and it's not for you and, you know, your girl and a kid or whatever. It's pretty easy to find an inexpensive place. And if you you do the math, I think it's probably better off. You're better off to. And then what happens if you got to cut and run? You know, the thing with me is I know if I had to cut and run here and leave, like before my wife and kids, I know that my wife and kids could go to the United States. And I know that at least my wife and kids would be able to stay here and to make use of a house if we had one. But if I was a single guy, there's probably, unless I had the money to burn, got to have bug out money. Yeah, for sure. You got to have that secondary, money. And, that's the thing is, I've been with my wife for a long time. I've been with her since she was a college student. And she's no dummy. She may be a pain in the ass at times, but I'm sure she thinks I am too, But for the most part, she's intelligent, and I leave certain things to her. And, I've got to the point now where I'm at the age now where I'm like, all right, listen, I'm not going to let much bother me, In the last couple of years, I've evolved. And women certainly don't bother me. I watch them, I see them, I go to certain places and I see how some of them act. And, if I was to say something, and, a Thai woman told me something a long time ago. She used to say, yak du nanan, which means I want to watch for a long time. Like as with a man. She wants to see how the guy is over a long period of time so she can really see how he is. If you just see a girl and you go, oh my God, she's so beautiful, I want to be with her, and you're out for some kind of a relationship, forget it. You're not going to know her in one night and get to know her and then, chances are slim. You're better to see her in her good times, in her bad times. You give it some time so she, like I always say, reveal her hand. You can see, when she gets mad, she completely loses it and she's crazy. She's just nuts. I can't deal with this. Or, if she gets mad, she bites her tongue. She doesn't say much. You got to figure them out. And I think, especially here, if you don't really know all that much about the culture and you get involved really quickly with someone who doesn't speak the language and you don't speak the language, I think it's foolish. You got to give it time. There's my big tip of the day. And that goes for any woman. With my kids, they're like, I don't care about them. I don't really care. So she don't want to be with me. I'll get another one. Only teachers want the benefits stop if they want to know somebody stopped the benefits and see what happens. Well, yeah, that's true. And with a lot of Thai women, it's like stop telling them. Tell them that you're going to stop giving them money, or tell them that you don't have any money, and see where they end up. If they end up not seeing you anymore, you know where you stand. But that's the thing, is that what I was saying is that my kids, they're very they don't put too much weight on, hey, this chick likes me, she's my girlfriend, oh, I'm in love, and oh, it's such a great relationship. It's nothing like that. And I wasn't the same. I was like, oh, I got this girl, she's mine. And that's never the truth. They're only yours if they want to be yours. So I'm very happy about that when it comes to them. But like I said, we'll see in a few years, how things pan out. Holy Jesus. More makeup than a clown. It's always nice to people watch here. And because of the wind today, it's 5 miles an hour, but you can see the wind blowing. And I'm sitting in the shade. It's a bit cooler, so I'm not sweating at all. A lot of times I'll sit here and I start sweating and it gets a little bit bad. But it's nice today. It's very nice, very pleasant. Let's turn that back on me. So, people will only love you and only someone when she's not a year. Well, I guess it depends, you know. Your turn might be a long turn, or it might be a short turn. It depends, you know. And that's the other thing is, you know, are they the kind of woman who wants to be with one man, or, you know, they've had one boyfriend and they're a one man woman, or are they the kind who's like my kids? Well, we'll move on. Okay, whatever. Bye. Next. Which is a healthy way to be, but, you know, if you're sure about the person, then, you know. I hate to use the words loyal and faithful, because it kind of sounds like a dog. But, you know, I think that you just have to be careful, especially here. You know, as good as they can be here, they can be just as bad. You know, some of them are just flat out evil. But if you, and I'm not talking about just talking about bar girls or working girls. I'm talking about regular women. Some of them are just flat out evil. But that's why you don't give them too much. You don't let them in too easy. Don't let them into your life too easy. Don't let them, you know, oh, you can have a drawer. I'll give you my key. Don't do that too quickly. Because if you do, you're asking for trouble. Once they're in, the trouble is getting them out. It's not getting them. It's getting rid of them. The mall's been a little bit empty. Exactly. You got to have that vetting process. They've got to make the grade. And then if they're smart, they're going to put you through the paces. They want to see that they vet you properly. You know. And then, okay, let's say that, you know, there's a joke here. It's not really a joke. But if you get involved with a Thai woman, make sure she has no family. You get involved with somebody who's an orphan. Then that way you don't have to deal with the family. And fortunately, you know, my wife's family has always been very good to me, you know. Never let them in too easy. Well, you know, booze can cloud the judgment, and when it comes to women, you don't want your judgment too clouded. It's one thing if you wake up and you go, "Oh, wait a minute, I thought she looked different last night. All right, bye, honey." You know, that's one thing. That's bad enough. But if you wake up and, you know, it's the hangover and you're like, you don't have a tooth and you're married, it's time to give up drinking, you know. And that's the other thing. If you're out partying with some chick all the time, and she's some Thai party girl, and you're out partying all the time with her, well, you know, for you might be like, well, you know, it's a new relationship. I just want to party. She may have been there partying for a year, 2 years, whatever. So, you know, do you really want a party girl? You want some chick who's getting smashed all the time? You know, I knew a couple of girls who, they seemed like they were very nice girls and, you know, very sweet, very proper girls. And then, you know, you see them out all the time. All the time they're out and they're constantly drunk. You know, just not, how can I say, acting stupid. You know. And when you get to a certain age and you have a little bit of class, I would think you don't want your woman going out making an ass, you know, throwing up in a bar or falling down drunk. That's not exactly what you want. I don't know. I guess if you're a drunk too, then maybe that is what you want. But, you know, I was actually married to a woman like that, just an Indian version. Yeah, I don't know about the whole Indian thing. I know some guys are completely into them. And I know in the UK, you know, there's a lot of them. And they're different from straight up off the farm Indians. But you know, this is the thing with the Thai culture. They've got that mipe and rye attitude, and I think a lot of Westerners who take a little time to learn about the culture, they assimilate with Thais, and Thais assimilate. They mesh fairly well. It's the guys who do stuff that's stupid, like, you know, they go out and get smashed and they meet some girl and then they party with them for a while, and then, you know, it's time to go back home and they're like, oh, just marry me. We'll be together forever. And, you know, you spent the last 2 weeks drunk off your gourd, and, you know, the girl's been drunk and you're giving her money, and so then it's like, okay, yeah, let's get married. And then before you know it, you're like, man, this ain't reality. You know, reality is if we keep this up, both of us are nothing but a bunch of drunks. We're not going to be getting anywhere. We're not doing anything. So, you know, and I don't know, you know, I mean, I've seen some people on YouTube that were married to Thais. I haven't seen very many that have kids and that have lived here long term. And I certainly don't really remember any that have been, the kids are older, you know. Now, I gotta say, I've been going through, I'm not gonna mention any names, but I've been going through a payment service where I get paid for some of the work that I do. And they've been giving me a hard time because, well, you're an American, why are you living in Thailand? Well, because I'm living here and this is where I've lived for a long time. And they're like, yeah, but you know, why don't you have a Thai ID card? And I'm like, listen, what does all that matter? I'm an American, I have paperwork that shows I live here. What more do you need? And they have just went back and forth. They just cannot fathom it for some reason. And finally I said to the lady, I said, listen, in a few years, I'll have lived here almost half my life. I got kids here who are just about grown up. What more do you need? You know what I mean? Like, it's got to that point. Unbelievable. And if anybody really wants to know, send me a message and I'll tell them who it is. I'll tell them the name of the company. But, oh yeah, now there's starting to be a lot more people. Southeast Asian man have the only traditional remaining numbers left in the world. Yeah, I don't know about that because, you know, it's been a long time since I've lived in the U.S. Did they not give me... You know, I don't know what it is. And, you know, I know I bitch and moan about Starbucks. And to be honest, as soon as I walked in, as soon as I walked in, the manager said to me, oh, Scott, I'm sorry, but we don't have any regular water. We only have Avion. And, you know, I was just like, well, okay, whatever, you know. It's not, I wasn't even really thinking about getting the water. But I was like, yeah, okay. And I've noticed that lately, they haven't been giving me a tray. Now, I know this doesn't sound like much, and I don't want to bitch and moan, and that's not what I'm intending to do. I'm making a point, or I'm making a statement. They give me my coffee, they give me water, which is very nice of them, and you know, they always will give you water. You don't have to buy a bottle of water. It's convenient, and usually they put everything on a tray. Makes it easy to carry everything, especially when you're like me and I've got a bag or two and I've got, maybe I have some groceries or whatever. So I've noticed in the last couple of weeks that when I've been coming here, they haven't been giving me the tray. So I'm going to have to ask them, why are you not giving me the tray anymore? Is there a reason why? Are people stealing the trays? Is it because of the virus? What's the deal? But I noticed that today, you know, I had to say to them, hey, can you give me a tray, please? I mean, like, but they didn't give me a napkin either. You know, so, you know, this is the way that it works. Everybody's waiting to get in. What is it now? It must be 10 to 10, 8 to 10, something like that. Oh yeah, good luck with that, Gennaro. Good luck. Believe me, I called them once because I wanted to merge my two cards, which you're supposed to be able to do that. It was like, I just went, forget about it. Don't worry about it. I said, just don't sweat it. You know, sometimes it's just not worth spending time on. And you know, this is the thing with this payment company I was talking about a few minutes ago, is that I was like, listen, I've been on the phone with you guys like for 2 hours. You keep saying it's going to be taken care of. It's going to be taken care of. And then you send me a message that's asking me for exactly what I just sent you. What's the problem? You know, it's like, it gets to a point where you're spending so much time on something. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I got paid. And it's like, I already spent the time to get paid. That's why I got paid. And now I'm going to spend more time to make sure that I get my money, which is really the most important thing. This guy's got a mask on. He's got a hard hat on as well. How many people have a mask on? Not very many. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of all the people I see, there's 6 people with a mask on. Anyway, comment about Southeast Asia having the only traditional women in any numbers. Well, that might be true in any numbers. You know, again, I'm going to say I just find it extremely hard to believe you can't find a good woman in the U.S. A woman where, you know, like if you want to be with her and you want to be happy, you're going to have to kiss her ass. You're going to have to, you know, tiptoe around the tulips to make sure, you know, walk on eggshells to make sure everything's okay. Yeah, well, that about sums it up right there. It's, I hate to say this, but you know, governments and big business, it's all about me, and earning that big money, and as a customer, very seldom are you valued as much as you would think you should be valued. You know, I told the story about how Black Canyon Coffee? Many years ago. Many years ago. I mean, this has got to been, how many? I'm going to say about 16, 17 years ago. My wife and I went in to go eat right here. We went to go eat at the Black Canyon Coffee here. And she got her meal. We both ordered. She got her meal first, and I'm sitting there waiting. I wait. They're all sitting around, you know, there's like 3 or 4 of them just standing around, sitting there, you know, playing grab ass and laughing and acting, you know, like they don't have a care in the world. And so after about 30 minutes, I'm like, hey, where's my food? Oh, 1 minute. So they go in the back and they come out, the one girl comes out giggling. Sorry, we forget. And I'm like, you forgot? And I'm like, just cancel it. I don't want it now. So they canceled the order. So I wrote to Black Canyon Coffee. And I wrote to at the time I thought it was the head office. But it was in the US. And they said, we're sorry, but this is even though they are Black Canyon Coffee and they're a franchise, they're under Thai ownership and we don't have anything to do with it. And we've had problems with the Thai branches in the past, but there's really nothing we can do about it. We've tried talking to them and trying to get them to change their ways, but they just don't. And there's really nothing we can do. So basically I was told, you're out of luck, buddy. And so I never went back, never. And they had good food at the time. I don't remember now. So, you know, that's what, sometimes the customer service is great, and sometimes it's not so good. I mean, I've come to places and I had to return something, and they've you know, responded positively and very helpfully, and bent over backwards for me. But the majority of time that doesn't happen. What is this guy saying? Always ask chat to engage with him. Gets like 10 comments in 15 minutes and can't respond to my comments. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. You've never left a comment before, and nor have you. What is this? Are you talking about me or us? What do you come? No. That was my friend, my friend's wife. My friend Frank, who passed away from cancer a few years ago. That's his wife, and she was with one of her kids. She's got 3 kids. But what is this? What's this guy saying? Always asking chat to engage with him. Always gets like 10 comments in 15 minutes. Who are you talking about? ZY forgot. Who are you talking about? You talking about me, or you talking about some company? Oh, it looks like they're going in. So, oh, it's 10:30 now. That's what it is. Well, I don't know who you are and what you've ever commented on, because you've never commented or left. You've never done anything except disrupt this chat right now, because you haven't left one message in my comments ever, nor have you commented in the chats. So I can only assume you're a troll trying to disrupt this, because I don't know what you're saying. If you're going under another name, then, you know, maybe it's true. I don't know. But I don't believe it. So, you know, get it right. Hell, the Sony talk is they're making new Spider-Man. I don't know, with the Michael. Oh, God. Well, you know, the whole, I understand, you know, trying to be inclusive. But, you know, of whatever. But just being inclusive for the sake of being inclusive doesn't sit very well with me. You don't have to have your token white guy, your token black guy, your token this, your token that. I don't really think that. Hey, Soy Dog Cowboy, what's happening? You made it. I can't see anything, so I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. And the thing is that everybody else can see their comments and their chats, and the only reason you wouldn't see anything is if you were banned when you're using a different name. So please don't come in here and give me a hard time, because I don't really give a shit. To be honest, I don't care. especially when you come in like that, you know. What's happening, Niall? How you doing? Soy Dog made it in to the U.S. He's back in the U.S. of A. You're going to have to let me know how happy your parents are to see you, to see their baby back home again, because that was basically the whole reason why you went back. Yeah, I agree, Uber. I agree. Always the disruptive ones. Let's see here. No idea what you're talking about. Vitamin water, I got no idea about it. There's some I don't even remember the name of it, but then again, my memory's not very good, but there is some kind of, there's a couple different kinds of water here in Thailand that supposedly have vitamins in them, and I don't really bother buying it, because I think it's bad enough we have to drink water out of a bottle, and we really don't. I'm going with Wilder, although I think, the odds, I think, his time may be up because he might get outboxed. But then, he's undefeated. So, and, he's my sentimental pick because, I spent time with him in Beijing, only an hour or so, but, and I watched him fight. So I'm going to pick him. Yeah, I like them. I like the Pogues. I like the Water Boys. I like the, what's that other group I've been listening to? Dropkick Murphys, the Dubliners. I like all that stuff. I like Irish stuff, Irish music. That is a place that I want to go. Said that I am coming coming back from Asia because of the coronavirus. Fine by me. I'll just stay. Well, I'm really sorry I can't come back home because, I'm... if I come back, I'm going to be quarantined, and I just can't do that. I'll have to stay in Thailand a little longer. Flogging Molly. Okay, I'll take a look. I really want... My mother has been to Ireland, and I'd like to go to Ireland. I would like to go to Scotland. My friend's daughter is in the Scottish Conservatory playing violin. And I'm sure I could get a wealth of information from her, but she loves it. And really, wow. Yeah, but Ireland and Scotland, those are two places I want to go, and I want to do a little further research into my family history, because we did come from Ireland. Yeah, it's on the bucket list. But I have to say that one of my subscribers. Yeah, but the Dropkick Murphys, aren't they out of Boston? What was I going to say now? Forgot. Oh, one of my viewers, my subscribers, has been to the Congo many times, and he sent me an email, and he gave me some information, and most of it I kind of had an idea that it was what he was telling me, but it was good to hear it confirmed, and I still want to go there. I do want to go there. I got to plug this battery in. Hang on a second. That means taking this out. I like their new song. They did a traveling tour with the Dropkick Murphys in 2005 in Canada. Wow. That's pretty cool. I like that, what is it, Smash That Shit or something like that. That's the name of their new song. I like that. It's pretty good. And you know, I have to say that for a long time I felt out of touch with the new music from the new era, from this era. But now my kids are starting to get into a lot more stuff. And they're very helpful in me learning new music, and they're the ones who turned me on to the Dropkick Murphys. I think I had heard them, but they go, oh, you got to hear this new song, Smash This Shit, or something like that. Yeah, what did you play? They were so cool to us. All our gear was sent to the wrong city, and they let us use their drum kit and amps. Super nice guys. What did you play, Niall? Did you play an instrument? Why not? Wow. Are we back? Yeah, I guess we're back. Guitar. Lead, rhythm, bass, what? You know, my kid plays. Maybe you know that, but he plays. And he's getting to that part, he's getting to that time where he's ready to start playing in a band or ready to start doing something with his music. Rhythm not really good enough for solos. Oh. Yeah, but still, playing is, you know. Listen, I gotta say that, and I have some video footage from the other day when I went and I went to the studio with Alex, and he was playing. He played some Rainbow. He played some Deep Purple. They just were messing around. Played some UFO. They get into some Rainbow, and you know, I was just kind of standing around, you know, like I usually do. And I've taken so many photos of my kid in there that I only do it once in a while. I took a few shots, and then I started shooting video, and Yod, who is the guy who owns the studio, threw me some sticks, and he goes, oh, go sit down on the drums. Start playing the drums. And I was like, I don't know how to play the drums. He goes, just go for it. So I started playing it, and it didn't sound all that bad. I was surprised, but, you know, he was playing all kinds of different music. He played, they played like Careless Whispers. Is that what it is? Careless Whispers. Played for a long time, but got a cheap guitar in Bangkok and been playing a bit. Wow. You should come to the studio, Niall. Play with my kid. He can rock pretty good. I mean, you know, he needs some work, but yeah, fantastic song. I didn't know my ass from the hole in the wall when I was playing the drums, but you know, I learned the snare and just learned the foot thing, the bass or whatever, and started hitting the drums. And actually, a couple times it sounded like, hey, that guy sounds like he knows what he's doing on the drums. You know, it was just fun though, because what I was saying to Alex was, it felt like, you know, I'm a little old to go into the boxing gym and hit the pads now because my hands are thrashed and I'm older, and you know, and I certainly don't want to be in the ring if I can help it. But it did feel good to hit the drums and, you know, get physical with it. That felt pretty good. So I think this week when I go back in, when I go with him, I'll probably look at YouTube a little bit and see if I can play a little better this week. And Nicholas is playing keyboard, and he's gotten a lot better, and he's actually picking up the guitar and playing guitar. So, you know, eventually we'll start having some fun together. In the studio. Yeah, they're open already. Anyway, we've moved away from the subject of women, which goes to show you that there is more to life than just women. There is music and the arts. I remember Planks TV, there's a band from Texas called the Blaggards, and they're really good. I heard of them. y'all will be like the Partridge Family. Oh yeah, like a heavy metal Partridge Family. You know, what was funny is that Alex is the one, I've been bugging him. Play jazz, play blues, play everything. What's happening, Alan? Alan in Scotland. Play everything, play all kinds of music. Be a musician, don't just be somebody who learns how to play a few rock songs. And so he has. And it surprised me that he was playing the, yeah, I remember that. Surprised me that he was playing Careless Whispers, but there's part of it, and I started thinking to myself, wow, he sounds like he's playing some kind of jazz song or blues song or something like that, you know? I'd probably put that up somewhere in, well, my coffee's done now. Oh, no, it's not. It's a beautiful day, man. I mean, aside from the smog, it's not too hot. It's fantastic. The bands that play in the saxophone bar Floss. Yeah, you know what? I've been meaning to go to this place. Damn it, I should go there this week. It's called the Rock Club. The Rock Pub. That's the name of it. The Rock Pub. And I've been meaning to take Alex there. So I think maybe I will in the next week or so. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's on Pahanyotin Road. There's a couple of them. I have another one. I have a couple saved in my Facebook page. Really? You were disappointed? Wow. Well, I don't know. You know, maybe it was the day you went. I don't know. They have a bunch of different bands playing there. Oh, it's way too loud. Well, that would irritate me. You know. You know, I don't really know. There used to be. But you know, like when we went out the other night, Jono and Billy and I, we went out and they had this bunch of Cubans, like 3 Cuban girls and 1 guy playing in the restaurant, the Mexicana, and it was all right, you know. That they're, you know, they weren't the music wasn't the greatest music. It wasn't like all music that I knew and loved, anything like that, but it was decent. Well, there's a couple other places. I have to look. But yeah, I can't stand it when the music is too loud and it's like you're just trying to like be loud for the sake of being loud. I don't like it. You know, I want to be able to hear the music and appreciate it. And yeah, got the sneeze again. Only 4. And some of them are good. Called the Rock Factory. Band's super tight. Yeah, I mean, I really would like to go. Because I know that. How can I say this? I believe that Alex has a lot of talent. I don't know that he's ready to play like in a bar. I think he needs a little time. He needs some practice. He needs more practice with a band, with playing in a band, before he could do anything like that. But I want him to see. Aside from watching YouTube or something like that, I want him to see some live stuff. And I've had it on my agenda for quite some time, but you know, he's always busy. And when he's not busy, he's sleeping. And, you know, well, look at the singer from, what's Journey? He was a Filipino guy. There's some talent that comes out of there, but there's talent from all over. That's the thing, you know. This is Baby. It's a CEO Anlin. This is Baby. Ah, that's funny. The Immortal Bar. Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of that place. Or I saw it maybe in Facebook, I think. I don't know, I've got a couple of places saved, and once in a while I see them and I look at them, but, he's a lot more of a go-getter than I expected him to be. I thought he's just laid back, but it's not really how he is. He's pretty driven. So I think when he finds something or sees something and it prompts him into action, and he doesn't waste any time, But I want to see if I think he could play in a band, but a lot of times, I hear I hear a song and I really listen to it. I listen to the guitar and I'm like, he could play that and he could learn that quick, He'll figure out the song in an hour, a couple of hours, whatever. I'm like, he can play that. And then there's some music and I'm like, that sounds pretty tough. And the only thing is that I played piano when I was young for a couple of years, but that's the extent of my musical abilities. Every good boy does fine. Face. Reading music. Anyway. I do like going in the studio with him. I do like going in the studio because I get to see what he's been working, because he doesn't tell me, and it's not like I hear him all the time. He puts his headphones on sometimes. He doesn't turn the speaker on. He plays at school, and I don't, I'm not there, obviously, so I go into the studio every other week or so, and I get to hear what he's been working on and what he's been playing, and then I get to hear Yod's opinion of, he's still trying to get Alex to slow down when he's playing, to understand he's got to feel more and not always be so gung-ho, because Alex just wants to shred, Yeah, every good boy deserves fruit. Oh, yeah. I hated playing piano. Looking back, I could have got into it more, but maybe it was the teacher, maybe it was the music, I was playing Barry Manilow and The Entertainer by Scott Joplin and, stuff like that, classical music. Yeah, we have harmonica, and I got to where I could play a few songs. Actually, I played Dirty Old Town by the Pogues. I got to where I could play that, and what is it, the song by Billy Joel? A Piano Man. But those are pretty easy, But I do like the Pogues, Dirty Old Town, the harmonica at the beginning. I like that. So, I could talk music for hours, man, really. And yesterday, if Jono is listening, I think he read what I wrote, but somebody, one of the viewers, one of my viewers, everybody knows that one, huh? He saw me at the coffee shop yesterday, and told me that he has a bunch of trumpets and he's interested. He'd like to talk to Jono about the trumpets. So, music is something that bonds people, and that's always a good thing, You like blues. I like, I'll tell you who I really like. He's one of my favorites, is Stevie Ray Vaughan. Love his stuff, man. I just love the way he makes the guitar sound, how he plays it. Makes that thing sing, Plus, I like his voice. But he's more like a blues rock. No idea. No idea if it's in sync. It's usually not in sync. Usually there's a lag. And that's, you know, I don't know what to do about it. We're almost done anyway, so. Chinese. Smell her perfume. They're so outdated. Well, speak for yourself, buddy. Speak for yourself. Because some songs are timeless. Some groups, some play. Stevie Ray Vaughan's been dead for I don't know how many years. A long time. And yet his music still lives. And they're still really good. Yeah, I mean, he's a legend, you know. Come on, where are we going? You're the one who said it, not me. Yeah, I mean, you could make the case, you know, classical music. There's music hundreds of years old, and people are still playing it. I mean, you know, there's some new stuff I like, but I hope she didn't come from Wuhan. Happy Chinese New Year. I got the whole Chinese New Year thing going on. Well, maybe she's Japanese. I don't know, you know, I mean, it doesn't all suck. All right, now you take it easy, man. Well, yeah, I can't stomach a whole lot of it either. It really depends. Listen, I like that Dropkicks Murphy Smash Shit Up. That's from this month, I think. That stuff is all right, you know. I like that. Yeah, I think she's Japanese. Thankfully. Anyway, it's been fun. Very relaxed stream. Just like I like it. Man, I can't believe the air is so nice. Gummy bear pizza challenge. Well, I told my kid, I told Nick last night that one of those gummy bears should be a suppository. And, you know, the look on his face was like, no, you can't do that. And I was like, $500, $1,000, maybe I'd do it, you know. But I dread the outcome. Literally, the outcome would probably not be too pretty. Literally and figuratively, it would not be pretty. So that's not going to happen, but I may go for that soon. I got a video coming up about the aftermath of the one chip challenge, which will be, I believe, what's today? Today's Wednesday. Where were you? I already tried the chip. I already did the chip. Go back to the last video, the last stream. Take a look at what that stream was. And then you'll see the chip, the one chip challenge. Oh yeah. Gennaro, you are a bad man. You are a bad, bad man. That chip was baby. But there is a video coming up on that. Eventually I'll get some of my other videos done. Yeah. Eventually they'll get done. Now, to those out there who are considering doing so, I think they actually have in my channel now. I think there's something. There might be. I don't know. Maybe somebody should let me know. Is there a join button? There should be a join button, or there may be a join button where people can get, where they can join the chat and get, you know, certain things, little emojis and all kinds of stuff. I don't know if it's gone up yet. Man, this air is dirty. Okay, so that's there. Okay, good. Good. So that's there. There's the Patreon, there's the PayPal, and there are my book. I got books, 2 books, and I will eventually get a 3rd and maybe 4th, 5th, and 6th done. I don't know. You don't see it, Alan? Maybe it's not available. And there's also the t-shirts. I got a couple new t-shirts, new styles, hoodies, t-shirts, mugs. In the description, you'll find the link. You click on that. For some people, the t-shirts and the mugs, I think, are showing under the video window. But yeah, everything's down there in the description. So I guess that's all I got. It's been a nice 90 minutes. Oh, okay. Cool. Good. I'm glad it's showing, because it's, of course, they don't make it easy for me to see it. But, you know, well, I'm contemplating the This Is Baby. There's some things I'm thinking about, some designs. You know, it's pretty good. I like that. But unless you watch it, you're not going to know what it means. But that's why I want to make sure that the design is good. There you go, Gennaro. That was for you. I think that girl's been working at Swenson's for like the last 10 years. I think she's the manager of Swenson's. You know, I've taken my kids there a couple times. She's always working, that girl. Anyway. Gennaro, you horny bastard, you. All right. That's all I got, guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Click the bell. Yeah, don't forget to click the bell later. And leave a comment if you want to talk about anything. You want to leave a little message or whatever. Zombies. Bye-bye. And yeah, that's all I got. Choke de let jerk and my. I'm Scott, I'm an American, and I am in Bangkok, although I do not think I'll be here for all that much longer. I'm working on some things. Gotta get out of here. I'm getting antsy, so I'll talk to you guys later. All right?